The gentle breeze rustled the leaves as Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, surrounded by his devoted disciples. His serene presence emanated a profound sense of calm, drawing everyone closer to hear his words of wisdom. Today, he would speak about the burden of attachment, a lesson deeply rooted in his experiences and insights. Buddha began, his voice measured and soothing. Imagine carrying a heavy sack of stones wherever you go, unable to set it down. His disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, their curiosity piqued by the metaphor. Each stone in that sack represents an attachment, something you hold onto despite its weight, he continued. He turned his gaze to Ananda, a young monk known for his tender heart. Ananda, tell me about the bowl you cherished. Ananda hesitated, his expression filled with guilt and sorrow. It was a gift, Master, a symbol of care and affection. I grieve its loss every day, he admitted. Buddha nodded, understanding the depth of Ananda's attachment to the simple object. Does its absence diminish your worth, Ananda? He asked, his tone both gentle and probing. Ananda lowered his head, silently acknowledging the truth. No, Master, it does not, he replied after a moment. Attachments like this bowl tie us to suffering, Buddha explained, his eyes scanning the group. The more we cling, the heavier the burden becomes. He gestured towards the horizon, where the sun cast golden rays over the landscape. Freedom lies in releasing these attachments and embracing the present moment fully, Buddha shared a tale from his earlier travels, a story of a merchant overcome by despair. He had amassed great wealth but lost everything in a storm, Buddha began, his voice imbued with compassion. The disciples leaned in, drawn to the vivid recounting of the merchant's plight. Another day, the monastery was alive with the gentle hum of nature and the murmurs of the disciples gathering together. Soma, a weaver of humble means, approached the Buddha, her face etched with worry over her uncertain economic future. Endurance comes from understanding the impermanence of all things, Buddha replied. Suffering is transient, like clouds passing through the sky. The merchant learned to find peace in the simplicity of life, free from the chains of attachment. His disciples nodded, the lesson resonating deeply within their hearts. Buddha paused, allowing the weight of his words to settle over the group. Ananda, he addressed the young monk once more. Can you let go of the grief for your lost bowl? Ananda took a deep breath, his eyes glistening with newfound understanding. I will try, Master, he promised. Letting go is a practice, not an instantaneous act, Buddha encouraged, his tone imbued with patience. It requires mindfulness and self-awareness, a willingness to confront our fears and desires. He observed his disciples, their expressions ranging from contemplation to determination. By releasing our attachments, we create space for peace and joy to enter our lives, Buddha concluded. We become free to experience the world without fear or constraint. His disciples bowed, their hearts touched by his profound teachings and the clarity of his message. The sun dipped lower in the sky as Buddha continued to share his wisdom, each word a beacon of guidance. He spoke of his own journey, the challenges he faced in overcoming attachments to his former life. Even I was once bound by the ties of desire and longing, he admitted, his humility evident. But through introspection and meditation, I discovered the path to liberation, Buddha revealed, his voice filled with gentle conviction. I learned to let go, not in apathy, but in love and acceptance. His disciples listened intently, their respect for their teacher deepening with every word. Buddha's teachings often drew from his encounters with people from all walks of life. He recounted a meeting with a farmer struggling under the weight of his ambitions. The farmer believed that success would bring him lasting happiness, Buddha said, his eyes reflecting the farmer's plight. It reveals the truths of existence and the path to liberation. He gestured towards the setting sun, its golden hues painting the sky, just as the sun sets. Suffering too shall pass, Buddha said. Its lessons remain, illuminating the path ahead. What do you fear in letting go of your grief? He asked, his voice inviting honesty. Ananda hesitated, then replied, I fear forgetting the love that the bowl symbolized. Master, love is not bound by physical objects, Buddha reassured him, his expression soft yet firm. It resides in the heart and endures beyond loss. The king listened intently, his heart moved by the profound lessons embedded in the Buddha's tale of wise and ethical leadership. Buddha said, as a shepherd guides a flock to safety, so must you lead your people with care and foresight. The disciples sat in silence, absorbing the profound wisdom shared by their teacher. The gentle rustling of leaves and the distant chirping of birds created a serene backdrop. The disciples nodded in agreement, reflecting on the universal truths of governance and the importance of compassion in leadership. The king bowed deeply, expressing gratitude for the Buddha's teachings that illuminated the path forward for his troubled and uncertain kingdom. Attachments weigh us down, but release lifts us to a higher state of being. His disciples bowed deeply, their hearts filled with gratitude for the guidance they had received. The lesson of letting go, though simple in concept, was profound in its application. Each disciple left with a renewed commitment to practice non-attachment in their daily lives. The king departed with renewed resolve, inspired to embrace the virtues of wisdom and compassion in his role as a ruler. The disciples remained, silently contemplating the Buddha's teachings and how they could apply these truths to their own lives and communities. The garden grew quiet, the tranquility a reflection of the wisdom imparted that day. The Bodhi tree, under which Buddha sat, seemed to whisper its own ancient truths to the evening breeze. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video. As the stars began to appear in the night sky, Buddha closed his eyes, his spirit at peace. Another day, another gathering. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, his disciples drawn by the radiance of his teachings. She carried her lifeless child, her tears falling like rain. Master, she pleaded, bring my son back to life. His gaze landed on a farmer, an occasional visitor, troubled by the aftermath of natural calamity. Farmer, tell me of the flood that swept your crops away, Buddha requested, his voice kind yet firm. The farmer sighed, his shoulders heavy with despair. Master, I nurtured my fields with care, but the river destroyed my labor, he replied. Despondent, at each door, she asked for a mustard seed from a home untouched by death. Every household she visited shared tales of loss and grief, their stories echoing her own pain. Exhausted, Kisa Gautami returned to Buddha, her understanding deepened by her journey. Master, she said, her voice trembling, I see now that suffering is universal. The disciples listened, captivated by the tree's presence and Buddha's words. It faces storms, yet it does not topple. It binds us to the impermanent and blinds us to the truth. He gestured towards the forest, its trees shedding leaves in the gentle breeze. Buddha recounted a tale of a king, mighty and wealthy, consumed by fear of mortality. The king sought scholars, healers, treasures to escape death, Buddha narrated, his tone painting the vivid desperation of the ruler. Buddha continued, inner strength is not resistance to the storm, but knowing how to bend without breaking. Like the tree's branches, he gestured toward the branches above, their leaves swaying in the breeze. Mortality is certain, yet liberation lies in embracing the transient nature of existence, Buddha concluded. His words served as a salve for minds troubled by life's uncertainties. Roots are grown through daily acts of mindfulness and moments of inner reflection, he continued. When you confront challenges, Do not fight them with resistance. Embrace them like the roots embrace the earth. The disciples looked to the banyan, its expansive reach reminding them of its resilience through time. Buddha walked closer to the tree, placing his hand upon its rough bark. The tree does not lament the storm, nor does it fear the drought. It is the key to navigating life's storms with equanimity. He narrated the tale of a monk who found peace through meditation and self-reflection. One disciple, Subhuti, hesitated before speaking. Master, how do we reconcile acceptance with effort? Must we abandon striving entirely? Buddha's smile reflected his understanding of Subhuti's concerns. Striving is noble, but attachment to outcomes ensnares us, Buddha explained. Addressing the group as a whole, it is the wisdom to acknowledge what is and the courage to act with purpose. Mira felt enlightened, her heart lightened by the lesson. The disciples absorbed this principle, their minds opening to the nuanced balance of action and acceptance. Buddha shared another story, this time of a sculptor, gifted yet tormented by perfectionism. They weave into the soil, forming bonds that nourish others. The disciples looked closely at the roots, some visible above the ground, tracing the way they spread outward. Kisa Gautami, suffering is a teacher, Buddha replied. It reveals the truths of existence and the path to liberation. Buddha addressed Subhuti again, sensing the lingering uncertainty within him. Trust the universe. Subhuti, for control is but a shadow masking life's light. Buddha spoke again, his voice resonating. The tree's ability to endure is a reflection of its harmony with the natural world, not an escape from it. He paused briefly, observing the reactions of his disciples. Harmony is achieved by balancing effort and rest, ambition and contentment, individuality and community. His disciples bowed in reverence, their hearts swelling with gratitude and clarity. The farmer, no longer burdened by grief for his crops, vowed to nurture resilience and contentment within his spirit. Kisa Gautami, let your actions be guided by compassion and wisdom, Buddha replied. They are the seeds of a just and harmonious world. He walked to a sapling nearby, its fragile stem bending slightly in the wind. Do not measure strength solely by might, Buddha said. The stars above shimmered, silent companions to his quiet contemplation. Another day, another gathering. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his disciples drawn to him like moths to a flame. His serene demeanor radiated tranquility, as he prepared to discuss the path to liberation through non-attachment. The scent of jasmine floated in the air. As Buddha began, non-attachment is not indifference. It is freedom from clinging. His disciples leaned forward, eager to understand the depth of his teachings. Love without possession, experience without grasping. This is the essence of liberation, Buddha continued. Buddha turned to a grieving mother seated among the disciples. Tell me, what burdens your heart? He asked with kindness. The mother hesitated, her voice trembling. Master, my child passed away. Another day, the forest of Jetavana was bathed in golden sunlight, its tranquility embracing the gathered disciples. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his serene presence radiating wisdom and peace. Your love for your child is eternal, yet your sorrow stems from attachment to their physical presence, he explained. The disciples murmured in agreement, their hearts heavy with empathy for the mother's loss. Buddha continued, his tone steady and consoling. Release your sorrow, and let your love become a celebration of their life. The mother nodded, her tears slowly drying as the weight of her grief began to lift. The disciples observed, inspired by the transformation unfolding before them. Buddha shared a story from his travels, a tale of a wanderer consumed by his longing for his homeland. The wanderer journeyed far, yet his heart remained tethered to memories of what he left behind. Buddha began. Love arises from understanding and compassion, Buddha replied. It is the antidote to hatred and the key to harmony. He learned to find peace in the now, free from the chains of longing. The disciples nodded, the lesson resonating deeply within their souls. Buddha paused, allowing his words to settle among the group. The gentle rustling of leaves accompanied the moment, as nature seemed to echo his wisdom. Injustice is a shadow, Buddha continued. It cannot withstand the light of truth and compassion. He gestured towards the forest, its trees standing tall and unwavering. He gestured toward a lotus bloom nearby. The lotus roots are in the mud, yet it reaches for the light above. Non-attachment does not empty you. It fills you with boundless freedom and love, he reassured. The world remains vibrant and beautiful when viewed without the veil of clinging, Buddha added. Steadfastness arises from inner strength and mindfulness, Buddha replied. It is the foundation of resilience and peace. The disciples sat in reflective silence, absorbing the depth of the teachings. Buddha recounted a tale of two friends, one bound by ambition, the other free of worldly desires. The ambitious friend chased wealth and recognition, while the other embraced simplicity, Buddha began. In the end, the ambitious friend found himself consumed by dissatisfaction. The friend who embraced simplicity discovered peace. Unshackled by the pursuit of fleeting rewards, Buddha continued. Their paths exemplified the power of non-attachment in shaping life's fulfillment. The disciples nodded, reflecting on their own paths and aspirations, as the sun set over the monastery, casting a golden glow upon the gathering. Buddha spoke of the practice of mindfulness. Observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Accept them, then let them pass. Like leaves carried by the wind, he instructed. Buddha turned to the grieving mother once more. Meditate on your love for your child, allowing it to fill your heart without sorrow, he guided. Just as the sun sets, injustice too shall pass, Buddha said. Its lessons remain, illuminating the path ahead. Non-attachment is not rejection. It is embracing life fully, without fear or constraint, he explained. It allows us to experience joy and sorrow alike, free from the chains of clinging. Buddha continued. The lotus also teaches us patience. It does not bloom overnight but unfolds its petals in its own time. The Bodhi tree swayed gently, its leaves whispering ancient truths to the gathering. Buddha observed his disciples, sensing their resolve to cultivate the principles he had shared. The farmer, touched by the lessons of acceptance, vowed to rebuild his fields without clinging to control. Subhuti, enlightened by the teachings, committed to freeing his mind from the fears of emptiness. Trust in your efforts and the process of growth. The disciples bowed their heads, their hearts resonating with the lesson of patience and trust. The garden grew quiet, the tranquility a reflection of the harmony achieved, as the stars appeared in the night sky. Buddha sat in meditation, his spirit at peace. The teachings of non-attachment, though simple, held profound implications for all who sought liberation. The Bodhi tree stood resolute, bearing witness to the timeless truths shared that day. The path to understanding is not easy, Buddha replied, but it is illuminated by the light within each of us. Buddha gestured toward the reflections on the water. The lotus also reminds us of balance, he said. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.